What's up, YouTube? How you doing?
Welcome to our channel.
And to our home.
The Brawley Story. Who are the Brawleys?
So I'm Brandon.
I'm Christy.
And baby Bella's down for a nap.
Yep, getting those Z's.
Got to get the Z's in. So for those of you that are parents, you know that if your kids don't get the naps, boy, they don't be in a good mood. So we got to keep Bella in a good cycle. Yeah. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, I want to just go ahead and tell you to like the video, subscribe, as well as click that bell notification icon so you can be notified anytime we drop something new. If you don't like us, it's cool. Just hit the back button, bounce. You know what to do. Just be nice.
Right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. But today we got a great topic for you. What are we going to talk about today?
The 7 secrets of being the best listener.
Now, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I'm the best listener.
And y'all, he's actually right on this one. So you females out there who complain that your man don't listen, I'm sorry, I cannot relate. I cannot relate because my husband is the best listener. So he actually has taught me so much over the course of our relationship about how to be an even better listener. Like, people thought I was a good listener. Now I'm an incredible listener because of this one right here. And so even like my closest friends, and you know, those are the ones that like know all of your shortcomings, they have been able to see like, man, like you're a really bomb listener. Just going to another level because of this one. And I've actually taught other people how to listen better as a result of what he has taught me by his example and then by the things he was asking me to do. And I was like, wow, these things are like so simple, but yet so profound. Like, how did I not know this? So like, if you apply these 7 secrets, then your conversations will be better. Your relationships will be better because everybody likes a good listener. So be one, okay?
Absolutely. Be a good listener. So, okay, if you want to be the best listener, then ready for this? Shut up and listen. Okay, it's a little bit more complex than that. You do need to do a little bit more than just shut up and listen. But the first step really is to shut up. Literally, shut your mouth and let the other person speak. A lot of the times we are so busy talking that you don't give people the space to talk about what's important to them. So we need to make sure that we create that space.
Sometimes when you're a talker, you're an outgoing personality, you think that other people are going to express themselves the way you do. So you think that because you just say, these are the events of my day and all the details of my day without waiting for someone to ask you specific questions, you expect them to do the same. No. When you're talking to another kind of personality.
Yeah, like me, I'm an introvert and my wife is an extrovert.
You have to, he's waiting for me to ask questions. He's not just gonna tell me all the events of his day and all the details like I do. So I'm like, well, if he has something to say, why doesn't he just say it? You know, like I asked you how your day was, but you have to actually make the space, ask the person questions, and give the person room. Also, some people are faster talkers and they think faster on their feet to express themselves. So you have to actually give the person room, not just say, well, I asked, and then you just move on and take off, but like actually create the space.
Create the space.
So you ready for number 2?
Number 2, y'all, I'm gonna keep it 100. We're gonna look down at the notes.
I have mommy brain, y'all. My baby is 7 months old and she's still sucking my brain juice out through the nursing somehow.
I don't have mommy brain, but I just need to look at notes. So number 2 is you need to, with your body language, demonstrate that you are listening and interested. So if I'm talking and I'm saying something and, hey, mommy, so, you know, my day was going like this, and then Tommy was trying to, you know, run over me with his truck, and then, you know,
wow, honey.
she's not paying attention. I don't feel heard, right? It's really important that you look at me or give me some type of body language that's giving some type of confirmation that, hey, we're in the same conversation. You know?
Right. So like the other day, my husband's trying to tell me about what happened in the news. He's really good at stand up on stuff, y'all. So I have to ask him, you know, make sure you keep me updated because, you know, I'll be behind. I have to snooze on the news. But anyway, so he's like trying to tell me all this crazy stuff that happened in the news. And I was like in the bathroom, like trying to do stuff. And I was behind the door. So he was like, I'll wait until I can see you.
Yeah, just say I'll wait, you know. And she's like, what was
like,
for?
I'm like, why don't you just talk? But it's like body language. So he wanted to like see the demonstration that I'm with you, I'm listening. So your body language, your eye contact makes a difference.
Makes a huge difference. So what's number 3, baby?
Number 3 is ask questions. So like I said, how some personalities will just tell you everything they're thinking, and other ones are actually waiting for you to ask. Ask questions. But there's 2 types of questions. So one type of question is just your clarifying question, like, you know, so I think what I hear you saying is that you felt really frustrated by not being able to express that idea, and that's why you responded in what seemed to me like anger. You know, so it could be a clarifying question, like trying to dig a little deeper and really understand, make that person feel understood. Or it could be question number 2, my personal favorite, egging them on type of question.
We all know these types of questions, right? you remember back when you were in grade school and you'd be like, you telling somebody, man, like if someone's about to get into a fight, you know, at school, and like, man, such and such said something to me, and I was like, what you say? Like, oh, what you say next? What you say after? Man, I told him his mom was so fat that, you know, she wrapped around the, oh my God, you know, what happened after that? You know, you have to give those kinds of questions. What happened next? Or what else are you doing? Or something to egg this person on. Now we have had an experience where my wife loves it the way that I egg her on.
Yes.
And she doesn't need any help being egged on, but I do it anyway.
It makes me feel so interesting.
You are interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Most of the time. So, tell us about that. What was your experience with that?
So y'all, this was unusual to me, how he expressed so much interest in what I was talking about, but the way he expressed interest was not saying I'm interested, but by asking me questions that was egging me on, that was like fueling my flame, you know? So he's like, and then, you know, how did that make you feel? Or then, well, what did you say? So after she said that, well, then what did you say? Or, well, then how did she respond to that? You know, so he's like egging me on, and I'm like, well, actually, and I'm just going and going and going. So at the beginning of our relationship, y'all, he was egging me on so much, I didn't really give him the space to talk. And I'm like, well, you asked. But he was doing a great job of being an active listener. I had to learn to reciprocate those things. So I had to learn to give him the space, even though he's giving me all this, you know, fuel to keep on talking, because he's making me feel so like he's so interested in what I'm talking about. I had to stop and, well, how was your day? And then, well, what happened after that? And then, well, what did that cause you to think about? You know, so then I began to ask him those questions back, and it provided space for him to share more and more and more. And our relationship improved as a result. The key is to just be genuinely curious about whatever is going on or whatever the person is talking about. Just be genuinely curious and ask questions. And the truth is that everybody loves to talk about themselves. That's for sure. Everyone, I know it sounds vain, but human nature likes to talk about yourself. So if you can get someone talking about the things that interest them, the things that are important to them, the things that matter to them or that they're passionate about, then they will enjoy talking to you, and then it makes them actually feel like they like you. That's for sure. So if you want more friends, show yourself friendly, like the Bible says. Ask other people, get them talking about themselves and things that are interesting to them, and show interest Ask them additional questions. Give them the space to share. And that will be a great investment in all of your friendships, in your romantic relationships, to let people talk about themselves and egg it on. Number 4, give appropriate responses.
Now this is important, right? Now, I know someone, I won't mention their name.
Oh, y'all, you about to throw her under the bus.
Well, no, I'm not gonna call her out. Here's the thing. There's someone that used to ask us questions as a kid growing up, and you know who you are when you watch this video. We used to come in, you know, around this person and, hey, how was your day? Or, you know, what's going on? You just say, hey, man, you know, my day was awful. I don't know, school got blown up. and they'd be like, oh, great. Like, what? that response does not go with what I just gave you, right? You know, that's a clear dead giveaway. And everybody has someone in their lives that does that. You know who you are, and you know who they are in your life. So you make sure, you know, when you listen to someone, make sure you're actually listening and give an appropriate response. And we've all done it. Give an appropriate response to the content that the person is sharing with you. It's so important that we, you know, do that. That shows that not only am I listening, but I'm interested in what you're saying. So if someone's giving you bad news, you need to show empathy. If someone is giving you good news, show excitement or congratulations, some other form of empathy as well. What do you think about that? Any other thoughts you want to add?
I think that covered it. I think we're ready for number 5.
Okay, what's 5?
5 is to comment. Oh, y'all. So in my efforts to listen actively, then I would give him the room to share. I would ask him questions, clarify what you're saying. This is what I understand. Is this what you're meaning? Egging him on with my questions. I would give appropriate responses, you know, like actually listening. But sometimes on certain topics that I just really was not interested in, then I, you know, gave him all that space to share, but then afterwards, I'd be kind of quiet, you know?
Silent. And you know what's quiet? When I stop speaking, she stops speaking. We're both silent. I'm waiting for a response, and she's waiting for me to move on. And
so, you know, there's a certain point where, like, you can't use questions to fill the space. You already asked all the questions you could ask to hear the whole story. And then you have to respond to the story. But if you're, like, genuinely not interested, sometimes you just, at first I would just say, well, you know, I'm just trying to listen. You know, I'm just trying to let you talk. But he's like, I'm finished, you know? So can you give me something? Thoughts? Any thoughts? So, like, my husband has a variety of interests, but one thing that he would really give a lot of information about was Dragon Ball Z.
Shout out to Dragon Ball Z. If you like Dragon Ball Z, put it in the comments.
So he can, like, talk me through a saga, explaining to me what happened, and this person became a Super Saiyan 3 and all of that. And afterwards, then I'm like,
and shout out to all the guys out there that want to get their girls into the stuff that they're into. all the comics, all the science.
I did get into the Marvel universe, and we watched every movie. Every weekend we were watching like 2 movies until we, like, got all the way up to the end, and then we went to the movies to see Endgame. Yeah. So I did get into that one. I tried Dragon Ball Z.
That didn't work so well. She did like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, but Dragon Ball Z, she just wasn't feeling it, you know, which really hurt my heart because that's my favorite.
Try. Everyone likes when they can share their interests with the person they love, but yeah, you can only try that. So after he would, like, explain everything, then I'm like looking for something to say, couldn't think of anything, so I just wouldn't say anything. And he just wasn't satisfied. So then I'm like searching for, like, what can I say? And I'm like, that was cool. And then he was like, you know, you have any comments? I was like, well, I said that was cool. And then I'm like, it was powerful.
It was powerful. What did you think about that story? It was powerful.
Well, I mean, they just do a lot of like powering up and yelling. So I'm like, power? Anyway, I tried.
She almost answered it like it was the answer to a question, like on a test. Like, C, powerful.
So you have to comment. So now, like, if he's talking about the news and things that happen, I'm like, you know, commenting like, wow, that's really like groundbreaking, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. And you know, if he's like talking about boxing or something, and I'm like, so I actually haven't done this. I guess I need to work on this, you know. Well, I don't know. What's a good question? What was your favorite round?
No.
Or was there a knockout? Was there a knockout?
Was there a knockout? Is a good question. Who was fighting?
Who was fighting?
Yeah.
What did you think about the knockout? You know.
Yeah.
Trying here.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, it might be like, oh wow, so what did you think? Or like, wow, so he knocked him down in the second round. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. You know, always go with crazy if you have nothing else to say. Just say it was crazy. That works.
Note taken. So number 6 is stay on topic. So after he would, you know, share about something that I was trying to show interest in, sometimes I would like jump to the next topic. So, you know, what are we gonna have for dinner tonight? I'm like, really thinking about that salmon. And he was like,
did you hear anything I just said? Salmon? You know, I'm really thinking about trying a different lipstick today. What? What? Where did that come from? You know, so it's important to stay on the same topic until the other person is satisfied with it, not until you're satisfied. Right. Till the other person is satisfied with that topic. You know, to make sure that they've been heard and, you know, they've been able to flesh out that conversation.
And not just been heard, but that they feel heard.
That's true.
And that they feel understood. So you like have to like wait for it to kind of like fizzle out. You've asked all the questions, you made all the comments. You know how someone is, you can tell that they're still like trying to like get more out of you or say, you have to wait till all that just, you know, fizzles right on out. You're fully done. Be okay with silence. Some of us don't like any silence. Take a moment of silence.
I'm cool with silence.
So they can think, you know, of anything else they might want to say on the subject before you move on to what you may have been thinking about the entire time they were talking.
That sounds like a confession.
But stay on topic until complete satisfaction by the other person. And then you can move on.
And then you can move on to step 7 or secret 7, which is simply to summarize what they've said, the content of their whatever they're talking about. Wow, and this works especially well in conflict.
Yeah.
Simply saying something to the effect of, it sounds like you're saying that when I slammed the door like that, you perceived it as, you know, disrespect. Is that right? It is exactly right. Or no, that's not right. That's not at all what I've been saying. What I've really been saying is, and they'll clarify for you. You know, she might say, no, what really upset me was the fact that you don't take me on no dates anymore. Oh, I didn't know that's where this was going. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. And then you get clarity and the other person feels heard, and you just make sure that it's just super, super clear. And both people know that it's being, we have the same understanding of this conversation. It's important also, brothers, not to use the exact word. You remember when you were a kid and you're listening to your mama talking to you, boy, you ain't listening to me. What I say? And you say exactly what they said, but you really weren't listening. But you
said clean the dishes.
Clean the dishes, and then but you're like reading it back in your head because you really didn't actually listen, and you just restated your mama still's not satisfied. That's why it's important to summarize in your own words what you think the other person is trying to say to you. And once you do that, and you're relaying the meaning, not just the verbatim words,
Right, that's the key.
then they will start to feel heard and understood and satisfied and listened to. So that's tremendous. It works wonders. If a person is telling you something, a story, you know, wow, that's crazy. So when you went to the mall, you know, you saw that sale and it was great. Wow, okay, all right. It made you feel good. Okay, all right. So you got like 3 new clothes and we were on a budget, but you, oh, okay.
Not talking about me.
I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about her. It's just an example, but it's fun.
You save money over here.
Yeah, we're savers. We're savers. And my wife is great at that, so I appreciate that. She cooperates.
We're also investors, so take a look at our video on that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, anything you want to add to that?
That secret number 7 is pretty mind-blowingly powerful. So like when he would like actually like tell me, like repeat back to me, not the words I said, but his understanding of the meaning that I was trying to communicate, it really made me feel heard. It really made me feel understood. And so even when you're upset, when you can really make someone feel understood, it's actually kind of hard to stay mad at them. It's like you're already halfway to the resolution just by completely clarifying what the issue is. Mm-hmm. So when you fully can identify the problem, a problem identified is half solved. So we really just want to encourage you guys to apply these 7 secrets to your relationships. It'll enhance your conversations. They'll be more fun. You'll egg each other on.
You get to know each other better.
Vibe each other better, understand each other better, but it'll also enhance your relationships. And we want to remind you that relationships are the essence of life. Like when it's all said and done and you've, you know, built these careers and you made all this money and you're sitting back to enjoy it, well, who do you enjoy it with? Relationships are what makes life worth living. So as my husband likes to say, think of it like a bank account. So you're making deposits, relational deposits with those people that you spend time listening to, and you always want to seek to understand and not just be understood. Because y'all, there's a lot of selfishness going around, and selfish people don't make good friendships. They don't make good marriages. They don't make good romantic relationships. Don't make good family relationships. Selfish people are just not good in relationships. So always see how you can make someone else feel understood and not just look to be understood yourself.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I wasn't listening. Anyway, just a joke, All right, y'all, well, that's all we got for you today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, as well as hit that bell notification icon. If you didn't like the video, bounce kindly. And we're excited. We're gonna keep dropping more videos for you to consume. And what we'll tell you to do is, if you liked anything that we talked about, put a comment. If you want us to talk about anything else or any ideas that we could talk about, put a comment. And if you like Dragon Ball Z, shout out to Dragon Ball Z, put a comment.
So this is just another part of the Brawley story. 7 secrets to listening, being the best listener. And just remember, guys, that life is what you make it. So be intentional and make your story worth living.
All right, till next time, peace.
No.